All right, guys, so we're working on the Chevy with the Cummins in it, the chummins, some people call them. So I do have a bunch of stuff off already. I wanted to get some of this stuff off just so it was easier. I could do it in a shorter period of time in the video. So basically the on this, so this one's a non-intercooled, so it has this different bracket on it. The intercooled is a little different. When I do an intercooled, I'll show you guys. But basically there's 4-5 bolts that you're usually going to have to pull out of this. 4 bolts, sorry. I was thinking that there was one more that wasn't there, but I guess that's it. So you can just, this truck's got lots of space just to tuck it out of the way. You do need to pop this arm off, which you can do. Usually all I do is just take a pair of needle nose pliers and just go bunk, and it pops off pretty easy. There is your AFC control, or your aneroid. You got to take that off. That's 13 mil and 12 mil for the banjo bolt. You have to pull this banjo bolt out. Now, something that you do want to note is this one has to go back into here, and then there is on the back here, I haven't taken it out yet, the return. You guys can see that there is this return. You want to make sure that one gets put back in the right spot, because if you don't, the truck won't run. I've seen that quite a few times with guys not paying attention. But anyways, so you pull your lines off, your rear lines are going to come. Oh, you got to take your intake heater wiring off. Your, oh come on, I just set you on there. So your rear set's going to come off first, and your front set. This is a lot harder with one hand than it looks. There we go, front set. I swear it wasn't that hard to take them off the first time. Now, pulling bolts out of the pump, or the nuts off the pump, are a little bit more screwing around. I have this wrench, it's actually a snap-on, my Blue Point. There's the part number. And you can get into these back bolts with it, and then the bottom bolt pretty easy. If you're doing this, I would recommend doing that, buying this. And then there's also a socket for doing it, for doing the injection lines. I've never used the socket. I have one, but I never use it. Just a 17 mil wrench on these VEs. So my next, where we are right now, I'm going to pull the return line off, the 3 nuts that hold the injection pump on. Oh yeah, you have to take your oil fill off, which is just this piece, and then obviously the nut. And now I've rotated the motor over so that the injection pump key is like right here, kind of idea. That's where I always put them. Now if the engine's timed and the pump is timed, then yeah, you got to do it that way. Well, you don't have to, because you can pull the pump, the time pivot of the pump if you want to, but watch that. Anyways, what we're gonna do, you're gonna be there's a couple return springs that should have on it as well. Go from here to here. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna throw this on a time lapse now, and I'll bang out the rest of this, and before I put the new one in, I'll come back to you guys. Alright guys, so I got the pump back in there. Not too hard. You just pull off the injection pump gear. That's what this tool is for. You guys have seen me use it other times. Just 2 bolts and a plate. That's the one that's going to be in the kit when I sell the kits. So I wanted to show here just quick. Also something I fought with the bolts on the bolt on the bottom of the injection pump. The reason for that is because it was a little bit rusty. So what I always recommend do is you take a wire brush and then brake clean them off, and then make sure you can wind the nut, just, but you don't take your finger and just, you can flip it with your finger, you know, and it gives you practice for other things. But anyways, I wanted to show the banjo bolt difference. So this is the banjo bolt that comes out of the feed line. See how there's a big hole in it? And then this is the banjo bolt that, well, actually a pressure relief valve. that goes into the back of the injection pump. You can see the tiny little hole there, and so they're definitely different. You can screw them up, because I've had to fix it. So just so you guys are aware of that. Now, so I'm gonna basically just put her back together here. I'm gonna time it. I don't know exactly what the time will be, because I'm not gonna spend the time to go through it. I don't even know if, we don't even know if this is a good pump or not. So I don't wanna spend a bunch of time screwing around with it. I'm just basically gonna bring it to the head, back it off half an eighth to a quarter. And then this truck, we're gonna send it back to the tranny shop, because I want them to check the transmission out, because I would say that the tranny is on the lazy side, myself personally, but maybe not. I just don't like the way it feels, so I don't want to put a bunch of power at this thing and then melt the transmission down and then get blamed for it. So we're gonna send it back to the tranny shop, so it'll probably be gone for a week or so, and then it'll come back and we'll be able to do some cool stuff. But anyways, back to the time lapse.
All right, guys, I just realized that I didn't film lining up the timing gear and the pump. Lots of times, if you're doing a new pump, the pump is going to be pinned, and there's a bolt on the side of the pump, and there'll be a tag there that's saying that the pump is pinned at top dead center for the pump. So you would line your pump at top dead center, and you would line put your engine at top dead center with the timing pin and line that up.
Hey guys, so I got her all finished up now. I just had it running. We had a little bit of a screw around. I had to fix a wire that the wire broke off. Still got to heat shrink that. But the reason we were changing the injection pump was the injection pump was filling the crankcase with fuel. And there was, I'm gonna say, like probably probably between 9 and 10 gallons of oil in it. So when we fired it up, it was almost to the point where I wanted to run on the oil. So good thing that it didn't run too much longer. And I don't know anything about this pump. This was a pump the customer brought. So I don't know if you guys seen in the video or not in the time lapse. I haven't watched the time lapse obviously yet. I adjusted the throttle linkage so it actually has throttle. Before it was like less than a quarter of a throttle. I had to bleed the power steering. For some reason the power steering wasn't bled. This style of pump is really bad for having issues, so we'll probably change that out if the customer's okay with it. But anyways, we're to the point now where I think that it's now going to go back to the tranny shop. They want to check some stuff out on it, make sure everything's kosher, and then when it comes back, obviously we'll do some more videos when it comes back. I'm going to be talking to the customer probably tomorrow morning now, because it's done for the day, about doing the upgrades and stuff. But I'd like the tranny shop to see it, make sure everything's kosher on their end, so then when we burn the transmission out, it's not a big deal. Then it's their problem, not mine. So anyways, like, subscribe, hit me down in the comments. Don't forget to watch the rest of my videos, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks guys.